Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Retro Gamers Podcast, episode number 263. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
And how are you? How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing just fine. How are
I'm
you?
sure you're doing great.
I'm always great. When am I not great?
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, I don't know. Why are you asking? Huh?
No reason. No reason whatsoever.
Is it because the ship you're on is about to sink? Because you're like kind of tilted today.
Am I? You know what? Am I? Honestly, am I tilted? Why didn't you tell me this before I started recording? Okay.
Because I thought it was funny.
What? I'm a Batman villain.
I want to see all your pop figures slowly slide.
Can you imagine?
That'd be funny.
Yeah, I can do this.
I would love to see that.
There we go. All right.
Now you're going the other way.
Oh, now I just screwed this whole thing up. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
This is how it's going to look now for the rest of the show. So.
No, actually, you straightened it out pretty nicely.
Oh. I was going to do a penguin impression. Maybe that'll be next time.
No. We all know your impressions, like your singing voice, are not welcome on this show.
How dare you, sir? Just stand up and just waddle around. A real penguin, not the penguin. So I still did my penguin.
I thought you were talking about the penguin. Yeah, I thought you were going to Danny DeVito this.
Wow. I was thinking Burgess Meredith.
Oh, even better.
That's how far back I'm going. That's my penguin.
All right. Well, now that we've established we're really old.
Batman Returns. Great video game on the Game Gear.
Yes.
But not what we're going to be talking about this week.
No.
We got some stuff talking about, just some things happening. Some couple of games I've actually played recently that I've fallen in love with that has now kicked Metroid right in the booty.
Really?
As Fusion continues to sit on my Nintendo 3DS, waiting to be completed.
So you've just officially abandoned it? Is it because the contest is over?
No. I feel like this is harking back to
by the way, the contest that I handily won.
Well, I feel like you fibbed your way through it. I'm not going to say you cheated, but you definitely.
How did I cheat?
A little not telling. I lost. Look, hey, I lost.
Oh, wait a minute. You're saying I cheated because I did not reveal the extra games I beat?
I did not say you cheated. I just said you fibbed.
I didn't fib.
And, I would like to, 17 to 14 loss is not bad.
I didn't fib.
But when you added, all right, fine, you didn't say anything.
Right.
So
I withheld. Withholding and fibbing are two different things. And in a court of law, they would find out that I'm right.
Some people can compare this to something that happened a year and a half ago, but whatever. But with that being said, wow. No, it's not because of the contest being over. I feel like it kind of harkens back to like when I was a kid. I don't know if this happened with you where, again, back in the day when we only got like a game every now and again, we didn't have adult money back then.
No, I don't have adult money now.
Barely, right? No, I hear you. Where we would play a game, but then when a new game comes along, the old game kind of gets pushed to the side. Yeah.
It's like like that.
No, basically, you focus on the new one, and then that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what happened. So as much as I was going to gear back to Metroid Fusion, I picked up in the middle of, I don't know why I picked it up, actually. I just did. Blaster Master Zero.
Okay. Is it because I beat Blaster Master in the contest?
No, actually, that's the reason why I'm not playing the NES version. The original Blaster Master. Also, I kind of remember I didn't like the original, like the NES Blaster Master.
I will go on record and say I did not enjoy beating that game.
Really?
No.
Like you didn't fall in love with it?
No, see, I thought I would, and there were parts of it that I really enjoyed. The side-scrolling parts were very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
When you had to get out of the vehicle and go into the zones to try and power up your character and then find the enemy in each level, I hated that.
All right, so
you know what it was? It wasn't quite a 3/4 view. It was a very weird kind of 3/4 view side-scrolling combo type. So I couldn't line my character up when I was shooting half the time. I'm like, wait, I'm not in the right spot. And then fighting the bosses were just, if you weren't souped up with the most powerful weapon, fighting the bosses was a hump. It just really was.
Agreed. I learned, and I don't know if it's like this in the NES, and some games do this, but like, because the character, I think, is a righty, if you're facing something and you're not lined up, you're shooting like over here. You're not shooting straight on.
No. Right. So you have to actually readjust yourself. So like generally, whether you're a lefty or righty, when you're playing a game, you kind of, if everything shoots out the center anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's just, again, perspective wise, you're looking at your character is centered. Everything comes out the center. On this one, yes, he's a righty. So everything goes off to the right. So if you're side scrolling, it's lower. If you're going to the right, it's higher. If you're going to the left, and if you're looking straight up, it's going slightly off to the right. And so that was definitely a struggle.
So I can see that
playing as a character.
Exactly. And I agree. I do like when you're in the vehicle's name, Sophia. When you're in Sophia, it is I enjoy that part of the game.
Me too.
With the driving.
I did enjoy that part.
Always have. But anyway, when I got Blaster Master Zero was actually one of the first games. Well, it probably didn't come out at the time. It came out a little later, but it was one of the early eShop, Nintendo eShop games that I bought. Hello, sir.
Hello, Link. What do you have to say to everybody?
Kill the world.
Is that it? You'll die in your sleep.
Your soul is mine. So Blaster Master Zero was definitely one of the early games that I bought, at least one of the early indie games, because it is kind of an indie game, even though it's from Sunsoft. And for those who don't know, Blaster Master Zero is a remake. The sequels are more become an homage to Blaster Master. So, I played it then, but then I just put it down, and like a lot of other things, I just kind of left it. And I just stopped playing. I wasn't far into the game at all. Maybe only like the second zone or whatever.
Okay.
Maybe even the third zone. So, I don't know, I just felt like, let me just pick this back up and try it again. And then out of nowhere, I'm like, this game is fantastic. Like, I'm going through it. I'm finding things. I'm handily defeating the bosses. Not that I'm saying it was easy, but I had a good time with it.
So who was playing for you?
Wow, rude. Link, scratch him. Attack! I choose you, Link.
Yeah, my cat is the equivalent of Snorlax. Let's just put it out there.
Boo. And the Pokemon turns on its trainer. So I just so fell in love with Blaster Master Zero. It's bright, it's colorful. Obviously, it's updated graphics compared to the original Blaster Master. And for the most part, from what I remember in the early parts of the game, because obviously I didn't beat it, it's on par with the original.
Okay.
That can harken then to a conversation of, like remake versus the original. Once you do the remake, should you go back to the original, play it, kind of to compare or something like that? Do you find yourself doing that? Where if you do play a remake, would you go back and then, let me try the original, even though I'm not going to do that with Metroid after Zero Mission?
Well, I haven't been in a situation where I've played the remake of a game without having played the original. So okay. I don't know.
All right, fair enough.
I played Resident Evil is pretty notorious now for making remakes of theirs.
Yeah.
And I have the remakes for 2 and 3, and I haven't had a chance to play them yet. Big surprise. But I remember when Resident Evil was re-released on the GameCube. I remember playing
that was a good
one. It didn't. Yeah, it didn't stop me from going back to the PlayStation one.
Okay. Did you not the need, because after I beat the original Blaster Master, and I don't know if this is because there's sequels. Excuse me. After I beat Blaster Master Zero, I don't know if because there are 2 other games in that Zero series, whereas the NES Blaster Master had a game on Game Boy, and then actually had a game on Genesis. I don't know where they fall in the lineage. Even though I was very close to buying the Game Boy version on the virtual eShop because it's a Game Boy Color game. But I'm like, you know what? Let me hold off. Let me see if Game On has it, because that analog, again, is getting a lot of use. Game would look good. But when I go back, and I tried playing the original Blaster Master because it's on the NES Classic, the Switch NES Classic. And it just, I go back to it and I'm like, nope. There are things here which are permitting me now, now from playing the game that stopped me from playing the game back then. And it's just Zero to me is now just a better version of the game, and one that I would actually recommend more to play. And you still get the overall story with a little bit extra because there's two endings to Blaster Master Zero.
Yeah, and I remember because you had gotten the first ending, and then you were kind of guilted into going back and getting the
no, it wasn't guilty because
ending.
Because I'm like, why didn't I get the proper ending? And then I realized why. Long story short, you got to defeat all the bosses. And there are some bosses that you don't have to defeat to get to the end of the game, obviously. So, and again, it's another situation of Zero has a map where I'm pretty sure the original NES version does not.
It does not.
Yeah, and
you have to commit things. You have to commit things to memory.
Yeah, not this one.
It's insane.
So, it's insane. So right now, sorry, Metroid Fusion, but Fred the Frog and Jason the protagonist and Sophia have taken over, and I've also more of a just in my head I would find it funny. I got Blaster Master Zero for the Switch. Done with that. I downloaded Blaster Master Zero 2 on the Xbox because it's Xbox. It's jacked up for the Series S and X. Okay. The third one I'll get on PlayStation, so that way I have the one on each system. Oh, geez. But man, yeah.
I was about to say, isn't it funny how an entire game series was basically based off of a kid chasing his pet frog down a hole and finding this Sophia, just underground right near his house.
It's been there the whole time.
Get back here, Fred. Oh, look at this.
And you should see what Fred can do now in part 2. So,
boy, can only imagine.
Did the story branch off in the original? And I guess spoiler alert for 30 something years later or something like that from the original NES. What the story besides finding Fred, was there anyone else that you ran into? Was there a girl named Eve that you run into?
No, not in the.
Okay, so that's all
not
Zero.
In the NES.
Okay. So there's a whole, a secondary story that happens along the game where you come across Eve, and it's I wouldn't say romantic, it's more cute, which is interesting, and actually kind of sucked me into the story of that too, because the ending, the what we'll call the bad ending of Zero is actually quite not emotional, but you sit there going, I didn't want that to happen. Now I feel obligated to go and get the better ending.
Well, see, and sometimes I like those types of endings because they push you to go back for the better one, where it's like, wait a minute, I didn't play all the way to the end of this game for it to be a downer. It's like, where's my happy ending? It's like, get the hell back here.
And thankfully, I didn't have to go and play the whole game over again. I just go back to the prior zones and do whatever I have to do, and then I can go back and do it again.
Yes. I just want to point this out since we're talking a lot of Blaster Master.
Yeah.
And of course, leave it to the Japanese. We're talking. I was just joking with you about all this thing about chasing a frog and everything like that. Yeah. The Japanese version of Blaster Master has a completely different story.
I was just going to say, I think there's a different story. I think I read that.
So, ready?
Yeah.
The Japanese version of the game, the plot is only explained in the manual. The game takes place on the planet Sophia III, located near the center of the Epsilon galaxy, in which an advanced civilization flourished. In the year 2052 of the space age calendar, the Invem Dark Star Army, led by the universe's most feared tyrant Goes, invade and conquer Sophia III. The Science Academy of Nora, a satellite orbiting near Sophia III that somehow managed to avoid the invasion, built a weapon, an all-purpose tank called the Metal Attacker, in a last-ditch effort to defeat Goze's army. A young soldier named Kane Gardner is chosen as the pilot of this weapon. The game's opening sequence shows Metal Attacker dropped into the battlefield.
Metal Attacker, I'm running into Metal Attackers in Zero 2.
Well, there you go.
That explains that part.
That was the Japanese release. Yeah. And as we just joked about, the American release The plot of the adapted Western release, Blaster Master, is shown at the beginning in a cinematic slideshow as ominous music plays in the background. The game starts with a person named Jason who has a pet frog named Fred, who one day decides to leap out of his fishbowl, out the door, and down a hole in the backyard. Fred then touches a radioactive chest and he grows to an enormous size. Fred and the chest then fall deeper into the earth. Jason chased Fred's down the hole, which leads to a large cavern. While most sources say that Jason chased Fred down the hole, the game's instruction manual says that Jason fell into the hole while searching for Fred. Then he finds an armored tank named Sophia III, a vehicle designed to battle radioactive mutants that live inside the Earth. That's what they changed it to.
I like our story. At least we have a purpose.
I mean, but why couldn't we have the same story where we were in a war?
If Link fell down a hole and touched a radioactive chest that made, 15 times its size, wouldn't you chase Link down a wormhole?
No.
Wow. Link, did
and
you
I'll
hear
tell
that?
you why. No, and I'll tell you why, because he's sitting right next to me. I wouldn't be able to afford to feed him anymore.
You don't think he'd shrink back down? He's radioactive. No, he's
radioactive.
Just fat.
No, I was going to say, your cat's radioactive? No, just fat. If anything, I would touch him and then become I'd have radioactive fat cat powers. It's just,
baby.
Let me do it.
Fat cat.
Take care of it right now. You're done.
And you're dead.
And I'm dead.
So bottom line, check out the Blaster Master series, Zero series. I'm loving it. And I don't know what happened, but Blaster Master Zero 2 is kicking my butt way more than the first Blaster Master Zero. So
okay.
I don't know what's happening.
Nothing wrong with the challenge, Larry.
Very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. So definitely
very cool.
Check that out.
Awesome.
Another thing I was researching, and this is because of you. So,
what did I do?
So a couple weeks ago for Christmas, as we revealed on the show, you are ever so kind to have gotten me, which should be showing up at the end of the month. And when it does, I'll show the world, an Evercade Versus.
Yes.
And I'm still touched by that. So thank you very much. Something I
Hopefully
really
in a
did
good
want.
Place.
No, yes, very much. Right in my heart and on my cheek. Forehead.
Which one?
I don't know. Yeah. I forget this is audio as well.
Okay.
So
you just remember that when you have to buy me my gift for winning the contest.
Shut up. So
nice to me. By the way, thank you, Richard Green, on our Facebook page for pointing out that Larry should lose a point for beating Where's Waldo.
I didn't see that. When was that comment made?
Oh, it's up there.
Listen, beating a game is beating a game.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
clearly, I'm not the only one who
else.
thinks that. Clearly, I'm not the only one who thinks that Where's Waldo should not qualify as a game.
Whatever. There was a game over screen, or the end screen, I should say, and it was good to go.
I think there's a the end screen in every Where's Waldo book. just want to point that out.
So this Evercade Versus, I'm really excited about it coming in. And the funny thing is, as much as it's going to be a gift to me, which I love, I'm going to be spending way more money on it than anyone should on a gift that they get. But looking forward to it. There are 28 cartridges that are available for the Evercade Versus.
And it comes with one, right?
No, I think it might come with two.
It might come with two.
It might come with two. I don't remember which two, but it might come with two. Okay. I'm so looking forward to this. It's a matter of which cart to get first. And I mean, remember, these are every one of these are multi-carts.
Yep.
Between
so 6 games? Is it always 6 or
No. Some have 6, some have 12. One of them might have 20 or something like that.
Wow, that sounds like the one to get then.
Yeah, no, there are tons of them. Like you get one like this one, which is a dual game, but they're big games. Xenocrisis and Tanglewood.
Ooh.
Both big time games, a lot of graphics, so there's only the 2 in there. But then you get like an Atari Lynx collection, which right off the bat has 4, 8, 12, 6, 17
Oh yeah, I'm
games.
looking at that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And I feel like in the beginning, those are the ones I'm going to shoot for. I definitely want to get the 2 Lynx series.
Yeah. The Namco one comes with 11.
Yes, Namco one looks good.
That looks really good, actually.
Data East ones look good, but the Intellivision ones also. And Intellivision put out a lot of good games.
Well, and since you're not getting the Amico anymore,
This is
No,
true.
I'm serious. Since you're
No,
not
you're
getting
right.
the
You're
Amiibo
right.
anymore, you can get it for the Evercade.
True. And I mean, Interplay. I did say in television as well. And meanwhile, I'm looking at Interplay. I think I clicked on the wrong thing. But in television, will work out. But Interplay is the one I was talking about because in my head, I'm thinking Clay Fighters.
Okay.
And Interplay Collection 1 has Clay Fighter,
Okay.
Earthworm Jim.
Ooh.
Where is it? And of course, a game that near and dear to my heart, Boogerman.
Yeah, makes sense for you.
Which I actually have on Genesis, amongst others. So, like, I don't like after the. It's a matter of not if and when, because I definitely want to get all of them. They're really cool. Maybe except the Worms class. I was never into the Worms games.
Okay.
There were some weird ones. But what's also cool about the Evercade is they allowed some indie games on here. Some straight up indie developers are making games for here. Probably some of these games. Oh my God, it is.
What?
I was about to joke around. I was going to say maybe some of the games I picked up from indie developers. Dedius is one of the games on Evercade.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is, I mean, that's great. Don't get me wrong. That is awesome. Quest Arrest? Oh, shoot. Okay.
You think I'd look into this before? You go, Larry.
Oh my God. And that was a game I was about to buy too. So there you go. The EverQuest. The Evercade is lending itself to these type of indie developers, maybe even, dare I say, homebrews.
Well, but that's great because homebrews or indie games need a place to go, and
Absolutely.
They don't necessarily have to go, especially when they're older ones. They don't necessarily have to go to the big three.
No, absolutely.
You know?
So, and it's funny, over Valis. Valis is one of them. I think I feel like Limited Run is putting out a Valis game as well.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, looks like I lost you to that. Do you want me to leave you alone with your Evercade list?
This is what happens when I don't do the full research. I did some research, but I didn't like deep dive into them. I'm going to do that later. Nevertheless, there's like almost 240 games total on the Evercade. So it's awesome. It's gonna be hard to run out of games to find, but definitely I think I'm looking forward to the Lynx collection first. Mm-hmm. And if anyone out there has an Evercade, whether it's the portable one or the Versus, definitely let me know what games are you playing, which ones you recommend at least right off the bat.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this: would you buy the portable one knowing you're getting the Versus?
I think that's a question to ask after I get the Versus. Okay. Meaning,
see how much you actually play it.
No, not that, because I know I'm going to play it. But like with the Switch, I kind of thought I was going to play a lot of the Switch on handheld mode.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what I did. The Wii U, I mostly, and I live alone, I mostly played the Wii U on the tablet, on the Wii U gamepad.
Right.
So I thought I was going to do that on the Switch, but I didn't. Switch, I ended up just playing completely on the television. Okay. So I'll see like how much of a mood I'll be in to want to play on the go, or even just sitting there handheld. But for now, though, definitely Evercade Versus. I'm happy because it's up to 4 players anyway. So at least I can get some multiplayers really cool. on that. Yeah, exactly.
But local, right? Only local?
Totally local.
There's no online component.
Yeah. As far as I know, there's not. And that's fine. That's
fair.
Doesn't bother me any. Exactly. So
very cool.
So yeah, hopefully I'm wondering if anyone out there has it. If you do, give me a shout out. Let me know. So but that's basically what I've been doing this week, as far as gaming and stuff I've been looking into. So
all right, cool. Gaming wise on my end, I don't think it's been all that eventful. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, work, going back to work after the holiday break, definitely always. Very busy, very stressful. And then
life finds a way.
Life finds a way to drive me crazy, and it does it very well. But part of what I was doing though, because I was away, I was traveling during the holiday break, so I was actually catching up. Well, yes, I was beating games also. 23 to 14, 13 if you take away Waldo.
Oh no, we're not playing this game. Give me some satisfaction.
None. You get none. But anyway, so I was catching up with friends, doing some holiday gift exchange and getting some stuff. So I actually have some more in terms of gaming. I haven't really been playing much. I just started going back to Ratchet and Clank on my PS5, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
I just put it aside for other things. And I actually got some more gifts, so I just wanted to show those off.
Belated Christmas presents?
Belated Christmas presents.
Awesome.
So first one was, I got a lot of shirts this year, and they're all video game related shirts. So I got this really cool Zelda shirt.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, it's different. Cool.
Yeah, it's a Wind Waker. Different. You don't really see much Wind Waker.
You don't see a lot of Wind Waker. Kind of, it's a nice little tropical looking shirt. Yeah. Totally me.
Totally. Yep.
When you think of me, you think of tropical.
It's like when Bernie goes tropics.
I like the Koroks on there.
Yes.
You see them?
Very much.
Very cool. Yeah, very cool. So that's really fun and different. So
very nice.
Very happy with that one. And then along with that, I also got this, which is really cool. I don't drink hot liquid, but I do like mugs. I got this really cool Zelda mug, but it's stained glass artwork.
That is very nice.
Yeah, which is really cool. I haven't opened it yet.
No, I've seen some of that stained artwork before from Zelda, obviously.
Yeah, stained glass art is always nice. Yeah, it looks really, really cool. So
very cool.
Really happy with that. And then if you look up top, you'll see, like on this one specifically, see the boomerang.
Oh, yeah.
Up the top. Yeah, so they have like things at the top.
Awesome.
So very, very cool stuff there. A couple other things I got was, this was really cool. It's a Super Mario tin set.
Okay.
For your desk. So it has a notepad, 2 erasers, a pen, and a sticky notepad.
Oh, that's cool.
All inside. And you can see all the designs right there.
Oh, that's really pretty funny.
So it's a yellow brick eraser, a green mushroom eraser. Mario's head is a sticky notes. And then the pen, which has a Mario design. And then a notepad with Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Toad.
That's cool.
Yeah, so really cool little thing.
Very cool.
That was cool. And also, I also got a couple more things.
Wow, look at you.
I did not know that they made one of these, but Pac-Man the card game.
What is that?
So retro fun for the whole family. This colorful and easy game will quickly get you hooked. Collect pack dots and fruits, use power-ups, and watch out for the ghosts. 2 card decks, 3 levels, tons of fun.
Oh, that looks
a cool, quick little card game.
Yeah.
Obviously, I haven't opened it yet because I just got it.
Yeah.
But it's 2 to 8 players.
Wow.
Which is really cool.
That's interesting.
And it's ages 6 and up. And I also like on the back the graphic of the age group and stuff. They have little Pac-Man heads.
Oh, they do.
Which is really cool.
Awesome. That's really cool.
Got that. And that's the end of the gifts. But then there was something else that I received.
Yeah, right.
So if you remember back in November, not that I'm trying to rhyme, remember.
It rained? Okay.
The 12th of November, when Anthony was supposed to get his Legend of Zelda Game & Watch.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. You got people fired, I'm sure.
Yes, because we all know what happens when Anthony doesn't get what he wants.
I want it now.
I want my Game & Watch now.
She was a rotten one.
Yes, she was. She was a rotten egg. So it took, there was this whole snafu with GameStop and how my Game & Watch did not deliver, did not ship from the Nevada warehouse because there was nobody working at the Nevada warehouse, or there was nobody who could pick it up. It was this whole weird thing.
And empty, just like, hello.
Yeah.
Someone get my Game & Watch.
But I am happy to announce that it did arrive.
Oh.
And I finally have my Game & Watch Legend of Zelda.
Look at that. It's about time.
Yes, it's about
Oh my God,
time.
what is that? Holy cow, he got 2 of there.
Are you seeing double?
What?
Are you seeing double?
How did that happen?
I got 2.
Are you kidding me?
I got 2. No, I think I wound up getting, I picked up another one. I did pick up.
Okay. Yeah. You couldn't wait, and the day you picked it up, shadoozle, you got it in the mail.
Well, what's actually funny is the day that I did order the other one, The first one arrived at my friend's house because I was living with my friend when I first pre-ordered it. So like literally I ordered the other one, and as soon as I got it, he's like, "Oh, a package arrived for you." And I'm like,
"No."
Okay. So I now have 2 Zelda Game & Watches, which is good news because that means if I want to, I can open one now.
Yes, do, because it's awesome. Because
look, my Mario Game & Watch is still sitting here.
It's just sitting there.
Unspoiled.
Unbelievable.
Yep. I don't like opening. Here's the thing. I don't like opening things I know I may only play once and then never touch again. And it's a bit of a collectible. So
it is very much a collectible.
Since it was the only thing that came out for Zelda's 35th anniversary.
This is very true.
Nintendo. Jerks.
Listen, Link or Mario? Link or Mario?
Link.
Okay, fair enough.
I would go with Link.
Whatever. Hey, real quick, just to harken back a little bit on, you were mentioning something. You said you were about to play Ratchet and Clank. I didn't buy one, no, but I finally got my hands to play a PS5. Oh. Because for Christmas, Santa was very, very special to my godson and his little brother, and Santa dropped them off a gorgeous brand new PS5.
Very nice.
Apparently, Santa didn't want to tell Uncle Larry that there was a PS5 coming and find a way to get another one. But be that as it may, he created his workshop. I just want to say, just right off the bat, actually now finally being able to try a PS5, ho, daddy, it is phenomenal.
I know. That's why I have one.
No, but like at first I was just like, all right, whatever, better graphics, that's fine. But I never pre-order it, so I can wait. Like I haven't felt the urge to go get one. Mm-hmm. Also because the games weren't there yet. Yep. But just now experiencing it, oh yeah. I as soon as it's available, I got to get my hands on it. They have Ratchet and Clank, so I tried that a little bit. Mm-hmm. They had also, I tried that demo, like the
Matrix.
No, that's on Xbox. No, the PlayStation demo with the little Astro Boy robot.
Astro's Playroom. Yep.
Yes, even that was awesome.
Well, with that game shows you how the haptic feedback works.
Oh my god, that is
insane.
Ridiculous how that works.
Yep.
It was insanity, and I feel like I played one other game, but I can't remember. Nickelodeon's All-Star Brawl.
Oh, how was that?
Fun. Very fun. I mean, I don't know how they're not getting sued by Nintendo for Smash Brothers, but it is very fun. Characters are a bit limited. Hopefully, they'll release more. I mean, it doesn't have to be like how Ultimate was, but I still find it weird there's only 2 turtles in the game.
That's weird.
Yeah.
They're going to release the other 2.
Hopefully. But nevertheless, very fun game. Very fun to play. So bottom line, top to bottom, the PlayStation looks awesome. The PS5. So I'll definitely get my hands on it soon. And on a side note, real quick, they're already announcing the PSVR 2.
Yep. And we posted about that, and it looks insane.
Yes. I mean, personally, the best feature for me is the one wire needed to plug it in.
Yep. One wire to plug it in, and most importantly, eye tracking.
Yes.
Capability.
Yep. Which has
not been done for a VR yet.
Be ridiculous. So it'll probably be about $1,000.
Yeah, probably.
But nevertheless.
Good luck getting that.
Oh my
Forget about the PS5.
I know. I got to rehook up the old PlayStation VR. So with that though, I thought it was very cool. Finally got my hands on the PS5, so I'm very happy with that.
Very nice.
And the unit is monstrous.
Oh yeah, no, it's a spaceship.
It's ginormous.
Yeah, it's really big. Yeah, I'm waiting for the PS5 Slim to come out.
That's basically I'm thinking when I'll finally get a PS5 when that happens. So
no, that's fair. I'm just a fan of getting the first run.
I meant only because that's when it'll be more available.
Yes.
When that happens.
Oh no, of course. Yeah, when they figure out they can save probably half the production costs, when they can make it half the size.
Because I'm very close to my Nintendo Switch, I think, blowing up. So I might have to get a new Switch.
What did you do to it?
The fan on it. All right, so folks, I don't know if anyone remembers, but when I got the Atari VCS, I put up a video of it when I first booted it up. And it sounded like a small jet engine airplane getting ready to take off in my apartment.
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
The Switch is starting to sound like 2 jet engine airplanes getting ready to take off in my apartment.
What are you doing to your console?
I'm playing them, I think. That's the thing.
I play mine all the time, and it does not sound like that.
I mean, mine's like that's like it's loud. Like it's almost overbearing the game.
What is that, a lemur?
Maybe. It was supposed to be a fan dispersing heat from an electronic system. I may not have...
No, it sounded like the mating call of some West African animal.
I got four beavers and now a donkey just sitting outside of my apartment. But it's loud. I mean, I'll get it next time. I'll play it. But just, I don't know what to do because I don't want to like break into it because then that voids the warranty. But at the same time, I don't want to send it to Nintendo because then I can't play it.
Well, contact Nintendo and let them know and see what happens.
Or it might be a good time to get the OLED.
Could be.
Because apparently you can play the OLED for 1,800 hours and there's no burning.
Well, that's nice. And you are the type of person who throws away systems whenever you feel like it.
No, not whenever I feel like it. So please rephrase that statement. So
you like to throw away systems whenever you fancy.
When something's not working, you either fix it or throw it away. I don't have the capability of fixing it.
So you throw out systems whenever you're in the mood?
Not throwing out. I'd probably either try and sell this one back or donate it or something like that. Or maybe just keep it on a side, for a secondary system. So you
throw out systems whenever you take a tantrum?
I threw, one system because the Retro Freak stinks. I'm telling you right now, folks, do not believe the hype of the Retro Freak.
Mine works perfectly.
Its own adapter would not work in its own Genesis system.
I beg to differ.
Whatever. Do you have that adapter?
Yeah.
Oh, you do have that adapter. You do. Yes,
I remember
you played some games.
Yeah, and everything works beautifully.
All right, whatever.
I've copied all of my games into the Retro Freak using the adapters.
Was it easier to copy the games onto the Retro Freak than it has been with the Polymega?
Yes. And speaking of the Polymega,
you're welcome.
I turned my Polymega on today.
Did you? Did you forget you had it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
No, I've been busy, and I haven't had a chance to turn it back on, so I turned it back on. Mm-hmm. And I was actually talking to a friend of mine who also got the Polymega, and he got the whole, the whole kit and caboodle. He pre-ordered it and didn't cancel it like somebody else did. So he got everything, and
how much
we were talking about it, and I explained to him how, I said, like, I have a lot of games that will not copy all the way. He's like, yeah. He's like,
it's that list is growing for you.
Well, it's still the same because I've literally copied my entire collection.
Okay.
Over, and whatever didn't copy. And we were talking through like anything, because he was like, he's like, I didn't have any problems with any of my games, and I'm like, okay. I go, maybe it's just that the games are scratched. I go, it could just be that it's not on. It's not their end. It could be my end with the scratch games. So he told me, he's like, I was like, but what about when you play them off the hard drive and they freeze? And he told me, he was explaining to me how it happened to him once. He got all the way to the end of a game and it froze. And I'm like, I said, that's going to be a bigger problem for me than anything else. I go, I get it if a disc is scratched and it won't copy, fine. I was like, but if I'm in the middle of playing a game that's on the hard drive and then it just decides to freeze up on me, no, that does not work for me. So I'm curious to see, because Polymega is not really announcing or saying, hey, there are issues with the system, we're going to fix it. So I'm curious to see how prevalent that is for people gaming on it. I do know that when I turned it on today, it had 4 firmware updates. So I downloaded those.
Wow. Okay.
And then while I was talking to my friend, I told him, I said, and I don't know if you remember this when I first got it. I asked him, I said, are you playing with the controller wirelessly? Because I can't make it work. And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, no problem. He's like, I just plug in the dongle and it's fine. And I'm like, there's a dongle? He's like, yeah, there's a USB dongle. He's like, look in your box. So I went back into the box and there it is.
Wait a minute. So you mean it's not native? It just doesn't connect to it?
No, it needs
directly?
No, it needs a dongle.
Oh, look at that. I didn't.
that you
That I
plug
did
into
not
the,
know.
yeah, you need a dongle that you need to plug into the USB.
Interesting.
So it was in the box, but again, it's so small in the box that I completely
Well,
missed it.
not only that, I mean that's like a typical Bluetooth connect, like you get like with a wireless mouse sometimes. But I would have thought the first party Polymega controller would have just directly connected to the Polymega. I would not have assumed that at all, that it would have needed. That's interesting.
Well, no, neither did I, which is why, like, I was like, wait, why isn't it working? So I plugged the dongle in, and now it works perfectly fine.
So it never worked wireless.
No, I couldn't get it to work wirelessly because I didn't have the dongle plugged in.
I also thought you had it working at first wireless, then it just stopped working. Okay, never mind. No. Then I just misunderstood. All right, stop paying attention.
But my friend also said, and you would probably be happy with this, that the retro bit Genesis 6-button controller works perfectly on it.
Shitting.
That one.
Right there. Nice red one. You can get right on Amazon.
The wireless one works with the Polymega.
Yeah, these Retrobit controllers are phenomenal, whether wired or wireless.
Yep.
They're great. I'm just wondering if you should go with the Bluetooth or the 2.4 hertz. I feel like you'll be fine with a Bluetooth because it's a newer system.
Well, I'm not getting a Genesis controller for it anytime soon because remember, I did not buy the Genesis dock.
No, but you have Sega CD games.
But I do have Sega CD games, yes. But that'll work perfectly fine with.
Ding.
That'll work perfectly fine with.
It will. All the games will work fine with that one.
Yep. Yeah, and that's that. So I have some renewed faith in the Polymega. Now the other thing also my friend told me is that for the games that I can't get to copy over, like I can still, like if I put those games in my PlayStation, they still work. So it's weird. Like even though there's like some damage on them, I can still get them to work to a degree.
Yeah.
But because I own the game, he's like just you can download a copy of the game that you own.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
And then copy it into the system because because I already own it.
But I thought, be careful with that because I don't know if the Polymega takes direct ROMs. That's how they circumvent. It does. Okay. All right. Never mind.
It takes. I don't know how it works, but like I think you can do an ISO.
Okay. Yeah.
Like if you burn it, if you burn a PlayStation game to a disc, you can copy it. It won't take a ROM. It won't take a ROM like you put it in with a USB. Okay. But if you have the game on a disc, so in other words, Clock Tower is one of the games that I can't copy over for my copy.
Okay.
So if I burned a copy of Clock Tower onto a disc, I could put it in the system and copy it over.
That's kind of like, I think that's kind of like the analog, where like the analog doesn't take a direct ROM for that very purpose. So you can't just ROM dump onto something. But like if you throw them onto an Evercade, it should work fine, especially for some of those homebrews, which I don't have to worry about now because some of them are on the Evercade.
Exactly. So like, I'm just happy that there's a way for me to get, I'm happy there's a way for me to get the rest of my collection onto
that's good.
The system. Now my only real issue is the whole freezing while you're playing it.
Well, hopefully the firmfirmware has updated that. But I mean,
and it could very well be that the games I copied over, again, it could be like when I was playing Spider-Man versus Kingpin, maybe when it copied over, maybe there was an issue with the disc when I was copying it over. And that's why it freezes when I play. So it's like, but again, it's going to be one of those things where it's like, you don't know until it happens.
Yeah. So. But look, I'm happy you got the controller thing working again.
Me too.
And I'm even happier that with one of the downloads, you can now play every one of your games as if it was a Virtual Boy game. I mean, everyone asks for that. What little boy doesn't want to grow up to play something like that?
Yeah, who doesn't want to play in Virtual Boy? Oh, boy, me. And everybody else in the world, because that thing was a piece of trash. You should know you own a piece of it.
I own pieces of it. Yes.
You own lots of pieces of it. So because and the other reason why I like turning on my Polymega was like really cool today is because it reminded me I have Shining Force 3 to play.
Yes. Oh,
and I need to start that.
Actually, what the hell did I start? I did start Shining Force 3 on the Dreamcast, on the Saturn, excuse me. Nice. I just haven't played it since I switched the wiring over for the television from HDMI back to the AV cable. I gotta try that again. Maybe I'll do that. All right, cool.
Give that a shot.
Very, very cool. We're going to go into news here in a little bit, but one thing I want to mention, I heard this on the radio and I thought it was really cool. So it's very local, so probably won't be in your neck of the woods, but out here, and I don't remember. because I heard it on 94.3 The Shark here on Long Island.
Okay, well then definitely not.
Happy 10th anniversary to The Shark. And I don't remember the name of the company that's doing the contest, but there's a contest going on where you can win like this all-out package for the big game, because no one's allowed to say Super Bowl. And the package, the whole thing, it's like they drive up in a trailer to your house. They set up 4 televisions to watch the Super Bowl. But I think what happens is 3 of the televisions are set aside for the PlayStation 4, an Xbox, and they specifically said this, an NES.
Okay.
I found that I started laughing so hard because I'm waiting for him to say Switch. You know what I mean? But no, so you get like this gorgeous 4 high-def televisions, and hey, let's play PS4, let's play Xbox, and the Nintendo Entertainment System. All right, I think it's working now. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it. I love that idea, but I just found it funny that I'll call that mainstream because it's a radio station. You know what I mean? And like the people running the contest are aware that this whole going back to classic gaming is part of it, and that's part of their contest. Yep. So I thought that was really cool.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. I mean, every year we do our Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yep. And
or Tecmo Bowl or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just thought that was really cool to hear that part of it, that you can win a day and you can play NES games. They didn't say which games, but nevertheless, I thought that was really cool to listen. So, and then on top of that, let's get into some news for a little bit. Kind of
sure.
think some. You got anything there on your end?
Not a retro news thing, but just a big acquisition.
Okay,
that
it's
came out this
retro.
Week. So we don't really talk about this that much, but Take-Two Interactive, which is the company that owns Rockstar and 2K, 2 very big.
They do own Rockstar. I thought so.
Yeah,
okay,
they own Rockstar.
Yeah.
Okay. So they just recently announced. Actually, they recently announced as of yesterday. That they've entered into an agreement to buy mobile game developer Zynga.
That's big.
In a massive deal that could be the highest valued video game acquisition of all time.
Really?
The move is $12.7 billion.
Wow. For a mobile gaming platform? Yep. I mean, a company?
Yep. Wow. And the way that they did it was they didn't, instead of doing an outright buyout, they basically purchased Zynga's shares because Zynga is a publicly traded company.
Okay.
So they purchased Zynga's shares using a combination of cash and their own stock. And that's how
money,
right? So, and that is how they now own.
That is interesting. Now,
they
Zynga,
they now own 64%. No, I'm sorry, that's something different. But they basically they outright own Zynga.
That is awesome. And remember, Zynga is responsible for a lot of great mobile games. Farmville, first of all.
I remember Farmville.
And I know we don't talk a lot about mobile games, but there are a lot of interesting mobile games available. And I'm talking we can even go a little retro on mobile games.
We could.
But with Zynga, Farmville, Words with Friends.
I loved Words with Friends. I used to play all the time.
Tons of different slot machine games.
I wonder if my farm is still going on.
I am sure the crops have been dusted.
I'm checking Facebook for fun.
And that's the thing. Some of the games were available on Facebook, some available on the mobile platform. Very few of them available on both.
No.
But what they also did was they got a lot of... they were able to get a lot of like movie rights and stuff and turn them into slot machine games.
Yes.
Such as The Princess Bride, The Wizard of Oz, Willy Wonka. Just to name, well, probably all of them. And then like,
all of them.
Yeah. And then just all of their, whatever with friends games, Gems with Friends, Hanging with Friends, stuff like that. So Zynga, big time. And that is a lot of money. So interesting to see what will happen.
Definitely. By the way, my new favorite slot machine, when I went to Vegas in November, they had a Little Shop of Horrors slot machine and it was great.
Ba-doom. Is it the Is it that one, or is it like the early '60s version?
No, the 80s.
Okay, good.
Nope. Because when you're sitting there and all of a sudden Ellen Green belts out "Suddenly Seymour" because you've hit a bonus round, it's all good.
Can it be as good? Is it as good as the Caddyshack penny slot when 9 times in 7 minutes? It's all right. you see the gopher dancing on screen, and then you go back 12 hours later and you lose all your money.
I have seen the Caddyshack one. Yes.
And it was pointed out to us. The late great Betty White was featured in a slot machine game.
She was featured in a slot machine game. Yes.
So she was in a game. So nevertheless, yeah, Zynga, big time. Only matter of time, I guess, till we see Farmville get raided by GTA or something like that.
Yeah, basically, right? Can you imagine Farmville? Yeah, like you're driving in GTA 5 and you just come across a whole bunch of farmland.
Awesome. I got something here in the category of just someone was very bored and they decided to change something into something else. A certain somebody, can't find their name, changed a Tiger electronic, the Tiger games, the LCD games, into a Game Boy Advance.
That's awesome.
Yes, and it looks crazy. Sure the guy was able to actually print up like a custom border for it. And it boots up like a Game Boy or a Game Boy Advance. But the button layouts are still a Tiger Electronics game button layout, which has got to be very weird to play.
I'm sure it is. But I mean, it can't be that bad.
No, I'm sure. Actually, the title of the video is "I made a Tiger handheld that doesn't suck." Quote underneath, because it's not a Tiger.
Well, it's true. Can you remember a Tiger handheld game that you actually did enjoy?
I remember there was a Sonic one.
Yeah. Do you remember what it looked like?
No. Well, yeah, just Sonic, like basically jumping and crawling, jumping and walking.
Yes.
That was about it. The creator, actually, I do have the creator's name. Chris Downing is the creator of this this modded hardware, this freak of nature.
Yeah, I just think we've gone from Tiger Electronic games to these.
Yes. Do you remember the handheld? Not the handheld. It was a roll handheld. The Tiger. What was it called? You wore it on your eye almost, and it reflected onto a piece of like plastic right in front of your eye, and it took custom games.
No, I don't remember that.
R-Zone. I think it was called the R-Zone. And all I can remember.
You are correct. Tiger R-Zone Super Screen.
Yes, you wore it. It was a futuristic thing you wore right in front of your eye. That's how it played, but it still looked like LCD games, which was weird. And all I can remember when I think of Tiger, all I can think of is the angry video game nerd when he's on the whole video about Tiger, and he's like, 128 bits, and he goes backwards, 64 bits, and he gets madder, 16 bits. 8 bits, 2 bits, and he starts screaming. Then he holds up, and at the end he goes, "The wrist games," because of the wristwatch games that Tiger put out.
Oh my god, I forgot about those.
The way he just ended it, the wrist games, is just hysterical every time I watch it. But nevertheless, this Tiger does not suck.
Did you know that the R-Zone had Mortal Kombat Trilogy on it?
It did. It sure did. It didn't look like it, but it did.
Wow. No.
That's something I'd love to get my hands on, the R-Zone.
What I love on Wikipedia is what was the predecessor to the R-Zone? The Quiz Whiz. Do you remember the Quiz Whiz?
I do remember the Quiz Whiz.
Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah, but Quiz Whiz, boy.
That's so bad. That's so bad.
All right. You got anything else there on your end? Or we're gonna
I just have one retro birthday. Do we want to close with that?
Go for it. Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have any more news?
Nothing of spectacular. Capcom celebrating Street Fighter's 35th anniversary with
That's a big deal.
Possibly a game coming out in the future. So,
we'll see what
happens.
Well, then we get a new Street Fighter game this year.
Hopefully.
Works for me.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, no, we have one retro birthday. And it's I guess it's a big one. I mean, it's one of those games that's a bit polarizing. But it was released January 14th, 1987 on the Famicom Disk System.
I need to get my hands on a disk system.
In Japan. I love my Famicom Disk System. I have Castlevania on it. It allows you to save while you're going through that game.
Weird.
That game's impossible. No, that game's hard to beat in one shot.
It is. It sure is.
Anyway, Famicom Disk System, 35th anniversary for the somewhat polarizing Zelda II Adventure of Link.
35 years for Zelda II.
35 years old. And 35 years old in Japan. We didn't get it until almost 2 years later. It came out here December of 1988.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because it was on the disk system only. It was not on an NES cartridge.
That's true.
And we never got a disc. We never got the disc system.
Just to think, it took how long for a terrible game like Zelda 2 to finally get usurped by the terrible Breath of the Wild. So, that was a hell of a run.
You're all alone in that, and I'm telling you something. If I ever meet Shigeru Miyamoto, I am gonna tell him that you said that. And then you want to talk about your Nintendo Switch blowing up?
He will respect me for talking the truth.
Yes, and then your apartment will explode.
Personally, I was never a fan of Zelda 2, but yes, it was definitely there. It was definitely different than the first Zelda.
Oh, no question.
And it's on the Game & Watch.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Both Eastern and Western versions.
Yes, I see that. And then it also has a lovely timer and playtime clock and all that stuff too.
Yes.
Zelda 2 was the one I'd probably say probably my least favorite Zelda in the series. I just was not, again, to your point, the side-scrolling aspect of it was just not, it just didn't feel like Zelda to me.
So basically, how you feel about Blaster Master is the complete opposite of how you feel about the Zelda series.
Well, you know what's funny though? I wonder now if I go back to Zelda 2 after playing like a bunch of Metroidvania games, if it might actually work better for me now.
Only one way to find out.
It's entirely possible that I'll go back and I'll be like, oh, okay, I can deal with this.
But can you deal with it on a very tiny screen?
No, I won't play it on the Game & Watch. Why would I play it on the Game & Watch?
Because you have it. Why not?
Right, but I have this on my NES Classic. And I can put that on my TV.
You can, yes. So, what if you find yourself in the middle of the woods somewhere and all you have is the Zelda Game & Watch and you find yourself bored and you want to play Zelda 2?
Do I have batteries?
It's fully charged.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll play Zelda 1. I mean, Zelda 1, and I'll play. I've never played Link's Awakening.
This is true. The original Link's Awakening, yes, which, again, fantastic.
I played the Switch version, which was fantastic.
Which was also fantastic.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So I have choices if I'm stranded in the woods. I think I would rather play Zelda 1 over and over again until it dies.
Till it or you. Alrighty.
I have to eat it.
I'm sorry, Link. I'm sorry.
I hope I'm only eating the Zelda 2 portion of the Game & Watch.
So crunchy.
Hopefully I'm only eating the watch part of the Game & Watch. Thank you.
All right. I want to watch Raw. Where can they find us?
You guys can find us on Facebook.com/RetroGamersPodcast. You can find us on Instagram at RetroGamersPodcast, on Twitter at RetroGamersPod. You can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. You can watch us on YouTube. You can check us out on our new home on Anchor FM, and you can email us at email@theretrogamers.com.
Yes. And with that, Ant, you might not be available next week.
I might not be available. I am traveling next week, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll surprise you.
We'll see what's up. Well, the reason I'm saying that is because we got to come up with the first game for our competition.
Yes,
well,
we do,
you have to come up with the first game.
Yes, I do have to come up with the first game, and I promise you, it will be a good one.
All right, no problem, because I got the game I'm ready for in February. So.
Oh, do you now?
Yes, I do, and we will find out then when we find out then. Folks, we will catch you. Oh, have fun, first of all, on your trip. And
thank you very much. And if I am not here next week, I hope you find a substitute worthy of staying in my place.
No one's worthy.
That's very true. Just look at the results from our contest.
Wow. And folks, we will catch you everywhere next week on the Retro Gamers Podcast.